Yeah, we in here. We live
Testing.
from the 707. The Honorable D Smoke is joining us today.
And the crowd goes
Pre-game
crazy.
Friday.
In the bay.
Hey, I love the organic nature of how we maneuver because he was in town and he like, what you on? I'm pulling up. And when I was out there, I was in town. It's like, what you on? I'm pulling up. You can't beat it.
Not at all.
What brings you to the region?
Oh man, the Oakland Organization of Public School Funding. What is it called? There we go. I was close. Yeah. The Oakland Public Education Fund brought me up here to do a young festival. I opened up for Guapale, my homegirl, the legendary Bay Area representative. And we also shared a moment on stage, so that was beautiful, man. Yeah. So we have a song together, but kind of similar to you and I, we've never done it. So she hit me like, "You ready for it?" And I was like, "No, no, I'm not."
In fact, I'm not.
but I got something that fits in line with Closer. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's about dreams. So I had a verse about dreams that I did for her. With her, and they and it was just me and the keys, similar to how we, you know what I'm saying, you do in the backyard, me and the keys, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, it starts off. Well, I say that, you know what I'm saying. I don't know if we jumping right into verses, but that's what we did today. In addition to a 30-minute set, and it was beautiful. It's funny because some of the crowds don't know what to expect, and I like going into festivals because it's not the same as performing for your crowd. If I put on a show, different. It's people saying all the words, whereas when you see a festival, they looking like, okay, what are you gonna give me? You know what I'm saying? You know. And so what was cool about it, but Oakland has a beautiful vibe and culture, so that once they know you giving them something authentic and real, they just move closer, and that's what happened. They was out there on the lawns, and it didn't take but like a minute, like 60 seconds into my first song, people just start migrating toward the front, and I was like, there we go.
Fire.
And you know, that's the beautiful thing about festivals, because like some artists don't like it because they don't earn that respect. But the beauty is like seeing the crowd go from this big to a sea of people because you rocking that bitch. There's no better experience and feeling. Like you really got to earn it at a festival, and it's a beautiful thing. I had to like adapt and learn to appreciate that, because at first you'd be like, man, you ain't fucking with me, but it's like you just gotta earn it. They not supposed to just fuck with you off the bat.
Right. And silence is still participation because they listening. You know, at a festival sometimes they'll leave. They like, but if they present and silent, it's kind of like they entranced, they locked in, and
they could be talking over your performance.
They could very much so. Like, but the present silence, and I've seen that, and I've seen waves of people do that. You know what I'm saying? Because the attention span of today, period, is brief, is short, and so for them to stay there, it's like it means so.
You know, getting out there with T-Pain really taught us the just the difference and like personalities. Like here, I'm so used to, you know, it's like you show that you feeling it. But when you go out in the world, like we had a talk one time, and T's like, you know, they engaged, they still there, they just don't know what to do. Right. They not like us to where you just be gigging and moving. Some are like so caught by what you saying and what you doing. They not used to seeing niggas rap over keys and violins and sax, so it's like they can't even dance and move because they still trying to figure out and digest what's happening. And that silence is like, it's still support. It's it's not them saying we don't fuck with it, it's still support, but it'd be rough up there sometimes.
Oh boy, that was my next point.
It'd be rough.
Because your mind, when they silent, your mind, you know, we know our raps like the back of our hand, especially the ones our go-tos, you know what I'm saying? So you could be saying a whole rap, but your mind be like
thinking of everything.
Everything, bro, like pacing, like, man, I should give up. You know what
I'm weak, huh?
I should stop this. Grad school isn't a bad option. You know what I'm saying? I hit my wife for me. She hit me. Right here.
That is funny.
But yeah, you know what I'm saying? I got a degree, so I'm like, you know, with all the work I've done thus far, PhD programs might accept me. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you just. It's funny, I heard Nipsey Hussle say, man, every feeling you could possibly feel on this journey, I felt it. You know, and then I saw another quote that said, like, your grind will only give you what you put into it. Like it knows, you know.
Yeah.
You can't cheat the
You
grind.
can't cheat. Okay, so you know exactly what I
Yeah.
saw.
Yeah.
You know, and those are some of the feelings that when you get there, you have felt that. You've experienced that.
Yeah.
Whatever there is.
It's like what Russ used to say, like, if you get dropped off at the top of the mountain, you don't feel the same as a nigga who climbed all the way up it. Like, you can't even grasp what it means to be up there. You can't really respect that view because you don't understand what it took to get there. You got dropped off. It was easy.
And you know it's crazy? In a sense, like, I was 33 when Rhythm and Flow popped, right?
Yeah.
So I had put in, I've been doing it since I was 14 on the raps tip, since I was 6 playing piano. But like, even still, because there was a instant like catapult moment, you know, in a sense I was dropped off. So we've had to
Right.
take some strides back to really get our legs underneath us because there's something unnatural about it
Yeah.
happening that
Didn't
way.
you-
Even
I
though
was
we were
gonna ask
prepared
you
to
about
grow
all
it.
that.
Didn't
We were
you
prepared to
win
grow it.
something? I swear I found you a long time ago. You won the one with like the circle, the 4. Was that what it was?
No.
It was Rhythm and Flow. Yeah, that's what it was.
It was Rhythm and Flow.
Yeah.
Damn, I really don't remember watching Rhythm and Flow, but it had to have been.
That's
That's
what it was.
crazy.
It was probably a
crazy.
clip that you saw.
Was your
No.
because it's all filmed prior till it going public, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you knew the outcome and everything. So as the show was airing, was like your life changing each week with like the airing of the episodes?
Bro, incredible question. My introduction to the world in episode 1, Snoop banged on me. So Snoop,
Wait,
which
what?
if you really from the West, if you from LA, you know firsthand that that's
Where you
it's
from?
a tribute. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like you only like no offense to nobody because I'm a nerd too, but people who look like a nerd who carry that energy were like, I'm not involved in the streets, right? If you carry that, nobody's gonna press you. But as soon
Ever.
as you carry that, no, they're not.
Right.
But if you carry that bravado, they're gonna be like, hey, homie, where you from? You
Right.
know? And so that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Everybody in that round was from LA, right? He never said, all right, wait. But as soon as I finish my stuff, I stand there with my head up, like I ain't even moved by the applause, because all of this stuff is weird to me. The whole competition, as it started off, you know, I didn't have my feet up under me. It's a gang of artists in backstage spitting their best verse. To me, they all hard, you know.
Yeah.
Oh.
And so, but I'm just like, I'm gonna play it simple, and so, but when I finished, he was obviously moved enough, and I think it was because I slipped up. I had a line that said, "And if you don't like it, then fight me. Go meet the heel of my Nikes." I caught straight up and down eye contact with Snoop on it, like, "Go then fight me," right? And I was
Yeah.
like, "That was Snoop." Oh man, like, and then I kept going. So after he was like, "Where you from?" You know, and then I was like, "I'm from Inglewood." He said, "Nah, homie, where you from?" Like I said, "I'm from Inglewood." And we stared at each other for like 10 seconds straight, quiet. The room got quiet. Then a couple people kind of chuckled like nervously, you know. And then he was like, all right, for sure, respect, right? It broke, and then we laughed. But then after that moment, it just went up. Like, and we were watching the show, and I kept refreshing my feed on Instagram, and it was like that the night before I had 5,700 followers. I refreshed it.
First episode.
I refreshed it. 7,000, I refreshed it. This is by the second. Right after that moment, refreshed it. 9,000, refreshed it. 11,000, refreshed it. 15,000, refreshed it. 25. I was just watching it go up. And it kind of plateaued after episode, because they rolled out the episodes. It plateaued at about 120 after the first week. Next week came out, I'm still in the running. It goes up another 100,000. The finale hits, and it's going crazy. It goes to 1.1 million in a month. It's 170 countries, and way more than, it's millions and millions, 100 million people seeing it because it's a Netflix original. So the global presence is still crazy, like globally, you know, because Netflix is everywhere. They've done a whole Rhythm and Flow, 2 in France, 1 in Brazil, and they just shot the second one out here. So, but it was our run after that got a whole nother 600,000 followers. Like, it was like, okay, now what are you gonna do? Drop the album, it's Grammy nominated. We do television moments and all that stuff. So that's what kind of locked it in. Like, okay, is he gonna have any moments beyond
The show.
this show?
What was the reward to doing the show?
The reward to doing the show, I think, is obviously being placed on a global platform, like having. We all want to have people know about us enough to where we can go get some
Make a
money.
living.
You know, and
Yep.
make a living.
Yeah.
Period. Like, then it's also the way that they captured my family. My mom, who we just lost, was on there. They invited all my brothers out, so my entire family was there. Mom, Dad, Davion, my older brother, Sir, who signed to TDE, and then my older brother, Ron, who introduced me to Outkast and put me on to rap. Because other than that, we all are R&B gospel family, you know. But my oldest brother, who was like an Inglewood gang member / scholar, brilliant dude, you know, he put me on the Outkast, that like high level, intellectual, spiritual, but gangster rap kind of stuff that gave me an identity as a kid to be like, oh, there's a fine line I could walk between loving where I come from, representing it, having that bravado, but still being thoughtful and having a heart for people and a spiritual awareness that gives me some kind of purpose. So, but they had all of us were represented. They told my family's story and damn near paid homage to the legacy of people that put me in that position. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it did for me, and I'm proud of that. You know.
At the end, was it because you went with Empire at the end? Yeah,
I did.
Was that like agreed upon prior to show, or at the end did they give y'all like options of this is what you could do?
Well, the show themselves, and to their credit, they didn't lock us into any contract to release music. What it was, they own the masters. There are only like 5 songs that I've ever done that I don't or won't ultimately own the masters to. Like when I license a song, when I go with Empire, they have the rights, the license to that song for a certain amount of time.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But I get those back, and that's in the contract. Rhythm and Flow owns the songs that I did on the show. So they own Eat, Smoke, Take Your Time, It's a Long Dinner. They own Hurry Up and Let Me Go. And the other one, When the Kids Pull Up. You know, so, but other than that, and that's, you know, it makes sense. The trade-off is hella fair compared to what artists, dumb fair, compared to what artists do to get that level of exposure a lot of times and what they give up a lot of times. You know, so, but there was no stipulation of who I had to sign with. There were deals that were offered to me. You know what I'm saying? I sat down with T.I. He said, look, you know, hey man, you did a phenomenal job. I got to offer this to you. I understand if you want to try it out on your own, but you know, if you want to sign with, you know, Grand Hustle, this is what that would look like, boom, boom, boom. I said, for sure, you know, respectfully, I'm going to try these wings out. You know what I'm saying? Same thing. Went out to Miami, sat down with Khaled at his house. You know what I'm saying? Me and my team, they fed us well. We met his son, everything, you know.
Yeah.
And he was like, man, you know, he said, man, I have to offer this to you. You more than welcome to, you know what I'm saying, to decline it, but I could not offer it to you. I saw what you did. Much respect. You know, much love to what you're doing either way. But you know, and I think he did that first. And then I was like, you know, we gonna go independent. Like I'm not, and I think that both of those deals, the difference would have been like you giving up more than say an Empire. It wasn't that we didn't want a deal. It's like we wanted ownership, you know. And so after that, you know, I said, you know, let him know what our plan was, and he was like, man, respect, man, let me hear some music. And Khaled got the craziest speakers I ever heard. Like Khaled and Dre, like crazy. Jeez. He got huge speakers in the front and huge ones in the back. And I ain't never heard my music like I'm talking about. It's crazy. So we played my whole project that I had prepared. We played and then he played some stuff he did that has since come out, and some that hasn't, but that's crazy, you know. And it was love, you know. And then I seen him again. You know, on this new season that they're filming, and we chopped it up, and it's respect. I think they respect that I'm choosing my own path, you know, because we could go and be like, all right, we want to do it that way, But then it's like, if there's no premise for like how much creative control I would have in staying myself and making the music I want to make, like if I can't look and see that you know how to work with an artist like me, then I'm gonna have to choose myself. You know what I'm saying?
What made you choose Empire? Because even for you, an artist like you, you're a anomaly within the Empire roster, especially back then. You know,
sure.
like where Ghazi's focus was when you look at the roster.
Right.
You were a fresh anomaly, but you did have energy and momentum behind you. But what made you choose them?
Right. I think it was a couple things. They were ready to do business the way that we wanted to. Right? You know, Empire, you know, they put up bread, they were supportive, but the terms were still like what we told them we wanted. Like, and it wasn't the amount of bread that people was trying to put on the table, but it's
Right.
like bread and a dick ain't bread at all. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh,
it
God.
ain't. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
it's not, bro. It's not, cause then it's like when this be your last goddamn check, and they fuck around and make you have to wait on that. It'll be like, yeah, the deal is
Right.
the deal is $2 million. Oh, you didn't read the print where it's like, well, the upfront of that $2 million is actually
50,000.
500 grand, and after it does so well, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
Right.
Like, whereas they was Empire was straight up. They were men and women of their word and supportive, you know, from front to back. Till the end, I still believe I was an anomaly on the Empire. So there were a lot of things that, as my own team, we had to be like, hey, we gotta foot this because this vision is ours to execute. You know what I'm saying? They were supportive of it, but a lot of times it's like, what we doing? You know what I'm saying? Whereas if I'd have done certain things, they have avenues to just run that play already. Like if I'm on the, for lack of a better word, if I'm on the you know, some fun shit, some nigga shit, some ratchet shit, it's like we know exactly where to plug that up.
Where the place
it's gonna
you
go.
gotta get it in. Yeah.
And it's gonna run straight through the system. You know what I'm saying? But I think, you know, what we did well. You know what I'm saying? Because similar to what you're doing, the speed at which we were able to put out content at that time was, for that time, it got faster. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It got faster than that. We was fast then, but we were never as fast as you putting that shit out. Like, nigga, before I do that, I'll be like, fuck it, I'm gonna fall back for 3 months and then come back and be like, oh, you know, but
Right.
but their support allowed us to take advantage of that moment at the speed we needed to. The irony of it is, and what caused us to really take a couple strides down the mountain so we could build up our leg strength, so to speak, is that it was right before the pandemic. You know, so we couldn't hit the spots.
Hit the road or nothing.
Hit the road. It's like having a fish on the hook. Like that motherfucker will wiggle off if you don't hook it back in. So we got to go back through a lot of those avenues. There's places I haven't hit.
Especially with that, I feel like when you garner a base from things like that, where they don't necessarily know you, or they're not here for you, they're here for the moment. You really got to activate them in that moment to get them to become core.
For sure.
So you own like a time clock during that time. You feel me?
Absolutely. And Greg, one of my managers, he drew this diagram and was like, "Look, bro, this is the people that know you. It's a big ass circle. This is a kind of small circle. This is like fans, general fans, and then the core fans, and the core." And he kind of defined the behavior of core fans. It's like core fans buy merch, core fans pull up to shows, core fans put other people up on your music, and I'm learning now the difference between that, because it's like, technically, I'm more famous than my brother Sir, right? But Sir has more core fans. Why? Sir has done 3 tours to my one and a couple small runs. You know what I'm saying? Sir has put out 3 albums and 4 EPs under TDE to my 1 EP, 2 albums. And each run, you gain those core fans because you're locking them in, like you said. So
You give them a new reason to become a fan.
period.
What is the why has like your output been like less than that of like us or whatever? Like, why didn't you gunning. Because I remember right after the show, we were seeing D Smoke back to back, right? Like in that moment. But what was the slowdown for you where you like chose to not gun in?
Got you. A couple things. One of them was the multi-hyphenate path. Is you know, when I do the film and television stuff, like it's not something I take lightly. So in 2 years, it's been 3 years since I put out an album, but I've put out singles here and there. But and the last album has taken 3 forms. It's had 3 different names, and you know what I'm saying. And at one point, completely been scratched and revamped. But I've done 2 seasons of Mayor of Kingstown, and looking back, even though I'm able to record while I'm on the road, right? I'll have new songs, but something about closing out an album is completely different than putting out a song, you know. And so there are times when my team and we question the model, like, okay, how often do we put out songs and versus albums, or EPs versus albums? And because, you know, times change, models change, and I want, after this album, which I'm so proud of, you know what I'm saying? My boy is a part of that one, you know what I'm saying? I'm so proud of it. I believe the moment we're about to have musically is one of my best, one of the biggest. And but after this, I feel like in the name of being more true to the art and less, like I'm reading Will Smith's book, and they talked about a phrase that Quincy Jones had back when they were developing Fresh Prince. He said, no paralysis through analysis. Like, let's go. Like, if you believe in it, let's get behind it. No paralysis through analysis. And I think having done it this way first, and I get the nature of giving them a body of work that's like, I can attach to this, and this represents a season of my life and that artist's life. Having done that, now it's like, I just kind of want to pour musically so that they can see all that is coming from a nigga mind. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And because I think there's so much information, or there's so much inspiration to take from, like, whatever I give you, if some stuff resonates more than other stuff, at least you see what gets me from one point to the next, not just all these highlights, and you don't know that I make songs that are just different sometimes. I give you that too. You know what I'm saying? So it's like only putting out the ones that's like, oh, that made the album, this didn't. At this point, like after this album, I think that would be me being like, I'm just giving y'all the highlight reel and not letting you watch the whole game. You know, so I'm in that way, I'm critical of the way we put out, but I'm glad that we're doing it like this, because this body of work is gonna be something like, you know, I come from gospel music, I come from R&B music, and I come from, like, you know, oldies and Stevie Wonder. You know, there's a certain, I was a composer long before I was a rapper. You know what I'm saying? So what I want these bodies of work to represent is thought and intention. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, that, I forgot what the initial question was, but yeah.
All of that.
I'm excited for this album and post album, the energy, because I remember we was on a call recently and we were just talking about like nuanced things, and I was like, nigga, put that shit out.
The fuck out. Bro, I was walking my dog. I was in Inglewood. He was like, bro, they ready for it. He's like, the people want it. But yeah, no. I was hella encouraged by that, man. And shit, I'm observing, you know what I'm saying? And respect how you building it, you know what I'm saying? So no, I'm excited because now we ready, bro. Man. This shit is massive, bro. The press play stupid. The press play stupid. Blue Magic, I stand behind it. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
It's a product, bro. Yeah. You know, so I'm excited about it.
I love it. Are you still indie?
I'm indie. Got mad visual shot on it. Got, you know what I'm saying, mad content. Got the artwork done.
I love it.
And I owe nobody. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's what's exciting. So even if somebody's like, Smoke, I see what you're doing, let me get behind it. It's like, it's all marketing. And now you got to show me that you believe in it like I do. Otherwise, we way too ready. Right. That's the beauty of it. So, but I'm also not beyond synergy. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? If it makes sense, you know, and there's some people who we've had conversations with that are like, you know, we could blow this shit out, and it's not gonna, you know, it's not gonna cost you an arm and a leg. You're not gonna have to give up too much because we, you know what I'm saying, we gonna do the work and we gonna earn it. So we're entertaining those conversations. But either way, we're not basing our movement on their timing. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, because and the part that I didn't mention is when Rhythm and Flow first came out, we took a gang of meetings and they wanted us to sign, man. They will throw you a trash contract as a first draft. You will tell them what you want and they will put something on the table that's all just an insult.
You
to
know
your,
what's crazy? During that phase of my career, I feel like I burned a lot of bridges because I wasn't the like Stretch used to always tell me like you have to like send a counter. And I used to tell them niggas, I don't want a counter. That's what that nigga feeling. You feel me? So I didn't send no counters early on. I was like, this how y'all feel? Fuck you. You feel me? I didn't know that it was like you supposed to go back and forth to negotiate and meet the mean. Cause to me it was hella disrespectful. It was like, why the fuck would you give me this?
Why would you open with that?
It is disrespectful. And the thing is, just because it's common don't make it right. And that's how we need to approach the music industry. People are like, hey man, this is business. No, you just not brave enough to change how shit has been going wrong for a long time. You just not gonna shake it up because your career is attached to some fuck shit. So you just like, hey, you shrug your shoulders and blame it on the game.
The business.
But really, these are people's lives. And in no other like it's all, I don't know why shit ain't regulated in the industry the way it is in other. It's unions to prevent niggas
like
from being mistreated in work.
People too with that. Like they put out that offer to see how dumb you are.
To see if you
Period.
Because if you'll sign it, then they not gonna say nothing else. They not
will
gonna
never
counter.
say a word. They will not tell
And you'll
you.
never make a dime. And it's a lose.
And you'll just go down in history as another nigga who signed his life away on his first contract. It's like, bro, we gotta do better.
Trash. They sent us some trash. We sent it back, but we was like you because they sent us the trash in July, and Rhythm and Flow was about to come out in October. So it's like we don't have time for this shit. Like we about to drop. So we had an EP ready. You know what I'm saying? We had an EP ready. Like, all right, if y'all not playing with us, we not broke neither. You know what I'm saying? So we had the EP ready the day Rhythm and Flow came out. We dropped the EP, and it was third on iTunes behind Kanye West and Post Malone.
How far in advance was the show completed before it went to the public?
8 months.
So y'all had 8 months to really just
8 months to walk around.
And you knew?
And I knew. And they say don't tell nobody. Now, quiet is kept. All your family know because they there.
Right.
That means another 100 people know.
Right.
Oh, God.
But it's like they could all know as long as nobody post it. As long as it don't make writing online, you know. Like,
That's hella funny.
I'm
8
like,
months?
8 months, me walking, pacing, trying to prepare my mind and heart for what's about to
fame.
happen. For fame.
which is something that you really cannot prepare. And you're another anomaly like myself because you stayed home within your fame.
For sure.
So it's a different kind of fame when you're like somewhere that is new. Like if you from the South and you move to LA, it's a different kind of fame than like all of your family and the people who've seen you grow up and shit is here. Like they look at you differently, and the kids who know you from the neighborhood. So that experience in itself is just 10 times more than, you feel me, being like a transplant into a city.
Right. It's different ways that you get that people approach it too. Like some people are on the like, boy, they make it their job to humble you. Like you still the same old this.
Right.
They're like, actually,
I'm not.
some things have happened since you last talked to me. God damn it! Like it's this dude I went to my church, and actually, sadly, for a memorial service, and I'm talking to somebody, and I tried to tell my wife, I'm like, hey, let's sneak out before. We didn't make it out, and everything I knew was gonna happen happened.
Damn.
So I'm like, oh my God, I'm so proud of you. This lady saying it. I'm like, all right, thank you. This dude comes up, and like triple tap me on the shoulder all hard. I won't even do that to you, but he's like, hey boy, right? I'm getting beat up before I know who it is, right? So the way I am, like, and this happened, Greg has seen it happen, like, usually it's like women above 40 that'll just grab you and snatch you and like, boy, you gonna give me a picture. Right. But before you know who it is, you already getting pulled. And I'm like, what if I just swung back? Like, you know what I'm saying? Then I get the lawsuit. But this dude has beat me up, man, and I turn like, hey, bro. And then I knew exactly who he was. It's like, okay, you used to play drums at the church. You an old head, like, but don't touch me like that. And now I gotta check you in front of people, and you feeling uncomfortable because you trying to show me love, but it's like, I'm sorry, these are my boundaries. You know what I'm saying? And mine is set, you know? And then he was like, all right, brother, all right, like, chill out. I'm like, no, you chill out. You know what I'm saying? Like, then it's like, how you doing? How you still playing the drums? I know exactly who you are. God bless you. And he's like, yeah, let's get a picture. I was like, all right, let's take one. You know, but it's like, those are just small moments. And then the full adjustment of, you know, of everything. You know, the people you can help and you want to help, you do. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then, but when I learned to say no in the times where I could help, because if it would offset what the plan is. So that's why you got to plan so far ahead of, like, even financially, these funds are allocated here, this is allocated there. So it could look like a grip, and people could be asking for a little, but it's like if it's not sustainable, I don't want to do it. Now, if I could do this at this pace, then I got you. And to this day, like, my nephew's in college, he'll hit me, I got you. You know what I'm saying? I take pride in it, because why do it if I can't help? Right. I'm slipping. If I allow my mind to get too far on that side of it, where it's like, well, no, I got plans for these funds and this earmark to do this, and you know what I'm saying? Like, no, my nephew hit me, I got you. You know what I'm saying? From giving a card, you know, I done gave cards away and all that stuff, and it's a blessing to do it, because, you know, there were people who did that for me. My uncle used to keep bread in my pocket when I was in high school, you know, so, but it's staying home, like you said, staying down while it's happening, is a different, like, it's a different weight, but it's also the fuel too. It make you hold your head high in a different way. You know what I'm saying? Because, and I don't think you could do it if you wasn't making the kind of art that really reflects that place. Man, and if you're not representing them, you'd have to leave. Like, right. You know,
niggas will call you a bluff.
Niggas will be calling you a
what? In LA?
Right.
You know, so.
Right. But it creates a different feeling too. Like, when we pulled up to your spot in Ingle, you feel me? It was like, wow. Like, it just, that shit felt special to me. You feel me? Yeah. We don't often get to do that where people is from, and they have that significance. And it's like, nah, I'm here and I'm outside and I'm home. That's a special thing.
Yes, sir.
Especially after being on TV. It's different getting a hit on streaming. And it's like, yeah, you got another one hit on TikTok. But to be on television globally and still be home.
To be a winner?
Yeah.
Shit, the hit on streaming be the win, though, because then people don't trip as much.
Right.
The TV, they be like, because they get TV for free or close to free. Netflix, you don't see that money go, so it's not like you like, oh, I want the album, give me that. Oh, boom.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they feel like they feel like they really supporting the movement by being like, I voted for you. See, like, Rhythm and Flow didn't even have no voting system. Like, it was an internal in your mind vote.
The thing with the kind of fame you get difference though,
vinyl,
like TV versus streaming, it's like yours is you're always gonna be able to go get money because people know D Smoke. They may not know the song, they don't know the hit, they don't know a record. We know D Smoke. My pops know D Smoke. He can't tell you a song, but he know D Smoke. When you get the streaming hit, niggas just know the song.
Right.
They don't know the brand behind it, so that bag lasts as long as the song is on the chart.
Gotcha.
Once it's gone. Like, your shit.
The meat in the middle is the sweet spot.
Yeah.
That's where you know what I'm saying? Like, and I fool with it heavy because you're absolutely right. Like, to be able to show up, like, I'm in Oakland for a reason.
You still
me and my team flew first class and we didn't pay for it. They want to see us, and that's a blessing. That's a blessing. But you know what I'm saying? You know, and we know what we was up against, like I said, the pandemic and all that stuff. But, you know, there are places where they sing the whole song, and that's another reminder. There are places where, and because to look out in the crowd and see the same person know all the songs, it reminds me of when and I've never been to an Outkast show where they was doing ATLians, but if I was, they'd have noticed because there was not a bar that I would have been lost on, and that when somebody knows it to that degree, you've altered how they view the world. If you're making art like us, right? You've affected them in real ways, and so to look out and see that, and I saw that this week at my show in Inglewood, my birthday show. It's this dude, I believe his name is Jeff, because I've met him, and he's like killing the lyrics to the point where if I slip up, I'm watching him get it right. You know what I'm saying? But that also, lets me know that you making the right kind of music.
Hell yeah.
That's what we do it for.
We got a few questions we could do pregame before we close. Yep.
What you got it in 8K, 16K?
What we got?
He over there doing that Russian twist.
Getting it in.
Okay, let's see. All right, this is a good one for both y'all.
You was doing those in first class?
Yeah. What has been your most transformative or pivotal experience in 2024?
Ooh, pivotal. I lost my mom in 2024. So that's something that I'll continue to learn how it's affecting me. Each day is different. I've experienced every feeling on the spectrum, and so yeah, that's something I can't even describe, because it's a painful thing, but you also feel immensely blessed because there's no, with my relationship with her, there's no regret. There's no unfinished business, so to speak. And everything we do, and I say we because it's me, my brother Sir, and Davion, and we're all doing music at the highest level, is because she sat down and taught us everything musically. Like, we had a music instructor in the house, and she's written gospel songs that went around the whole world and were re-recorded by CeCe Winans, Donnie McClurkin, and Brooklyn Tabernacle, and we went to Africa, and she sings her song in Nigeria in this church of 5,000 people, and the entire song is singing it. And her experience was that she wrote this song, and they didn't know she was the originator, because it was under my church's project. And so just having witnessed that as a kid, it's like people expect us to cancel shows and stuff. Like, I don't know if they ready to get outside, or we didn't know if you was gonna answer the call. And we like, what? Like, that's about the only thing we can do to feel more connected and more sane. Sitting at home and twiddling our thumbs is gonna have us feeling crazy, but standing up, each time we stand up now, there's a whole different energy behind the show. It's a high of another sort, like my birthday show. You just watching my brothers do it, and it was just something that's phenomenal. My brother, there's a clip online of Davion singing at my mom's memorial service, and it just went crazy viral, and it's like, it's the most powerful musical moment I've ever stood in personally. Yeah. I told this nigga, like, you stood in between here and there, hit this world and that world, and it stood right in the middle and sang your heart out, and just brought down the room in a beautiful way. You know what I'm saying? And because I can't imagine how he actually did it, but he said that was their connection, and so 2024 will always be the year that the rug was pulled from underneath us, because she was healthy and gorgeous at the top of the year, and there was a car accident and complications and surgeries, and that ultimately led to her passing in early August. And so that's what this year is gonna be, and there's somebody sent me a quote that said, when you lose somebody, that's another advocate on the other side, and I have to agree with that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited to see what happens. I wish that wasn't the price, but you know, it's the reality right now. But the crazy thing is I could play songs, and the songs you've heard. It's a song called Biscuits. You know, my mom was writing books before she passed. She got a book called Raising Kings, about raising us. Brilliant. She's a brilliant writer, and that's something we had in common. Like, I have a book that I'm writing called Vivid Isaiah. You know, it's a novel. And me and her used to just send our progress back and forth. But there's a line in Biscuits that says, you know, God bless my mother, long live her dreams, and God forgive my sins and make my pockets obese. I feel real good, like biscuits in the morning. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's like, I didn't know when I was writing that. I thought I'm talking about, I want her books to fly. I didn't know it was like long live, you know? So, and then as you listen through the project, it's like something about the spirit that knows more than you actually know when you write it. She's writing books, she's writing scripts about her own life, not knowing that this is about to happen, you know? So in that same way, my album has things, it's like, dang, it takes on a whole new meaning, you know? But it's also so listenable and so enjoyable, you know, and so nourishing. So, you know, I'm excited to see what comes.
That was beautiful. Sheesh. Are you gonna answer? No?
2024, impactful moment, and I had a child.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. I think that was majorly impactful because it really like sent me through the ringer emotionally, just prepping for this process of like being a father at 30 and like trying to be a better father now than I was able to be for male early on, and just feeling like I'm at the peak and height of this journey, right? And then you have this child, which is like generally, which is a blessing, but like my initial reaction felt burdening because it was like, damn, like I gotta slow my process. I gotta, you know, do all these things. So it felt more burdening initially, and I didn't really know how to handle that. And then just as it kept getting closer and closer, it started feeling more and more like a blessing. And then being able to hold her in the room, and it was like, sometimes you don't know what you need. You just know what you want to happen and exist, but you don't know what you need. And the universe will give you what you need to remind you of like your humanity and what it's about and who you are and where you are. So I think that was that take, and the fact that she was born on the same day as a backyard show. You know, coming straight from the hospital to the backyard stage and ripping that bitch and going back to the hospital was like, that was the most hip hop shit. I had the wristband still on, you know, like it don't get more hip hop than that. You know, that was yeah. I feel like shit like that type of alignment, only the universe. That was the universe telling me you can do both and you will do both, and I'm finna make you do both so you understand.
What's important.
Right?
And I like the juxtaposition of it too. You know what I'm saying? Like, in my experience and your experience is just, it's just like day and night, but it's beautiful nonetheless. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was beautiful. Polar opposites. Life being exiting this realm and
life,
one being brought,
it's all
right?
life.
Circle.
Dang, that's
Right.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, one more.
Come on.
What major changes are you planning to implement to LaRussell and D-Smoke as an individual and as a business that may be different from your norm? Either, it says either immediately or within, the next few months.
I really mine's is really like, just staying even more internal. I feel like every year, we go through this phase where we're outreaching and we're like trying to find these third parties to help us and assist us and where we gonna partner with this. But this year it's like honing it back in and just realizing we have all the power we need internally. And with that, even just this next year, like I've been explaining to y'all, like I don't want to take care of people. I don't want my life purpose to be to like help everyone else. Like I really want it to be for me, and it's taken a lot even this year to like talk to my parents and communicate that with my family and with the people around me. This year we man, it's been so many cuts and just changes to infrastructure and my surroundings, you know, prepping me for that. But I feel like that's the major change for me going into next year is really honing into myself and being okay with that, not feeling guilty for putting myself first in my own life.
I think for me, a big adjustment, I like to be balanced, right? So I'll be like, if I do enough of this, I got to go over here and do this. But I think I need to allow the scales to tip sometimes, like set no boundary on the far end of whether it be like a session, you know, or me and my assistant, we've had a couple work sessions this week, and it was just so productive that like in the way that we would in a recording session, like we could work through the night till it's all done, you know, and that damn near felt like a gift to myself, you know, because I'm married, so I'm trying to be the best husband I could be, you know what I'm saying, while doing all of these different things, and but allowing myself to go into just deep work in the name of getting outside of this, trying to like I'm juggling everything. Like, nah, let me figure out what's priority and go so far into that if that succeeds and other things fall off temporarily, I'm still cool with that, because that's what was important, you know, versus I'm keeping everything somewhat afloat, but it's all unclosed chapters. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm closing this one out well. You know what I'm saying? So, and I think coming from school, that's what we learn. Like, you get all A's and the F, and they're going to be like, what the heck happened in the F? I'm like, but I don't want that for my life. So can we talk about these A's? They're going to be like, no, you got to get the F up. You know what I'm saying? So whereas in life, it ain't that. You can have F's. If the people around you got A's in those categories, you can not worry about that. You can be completely ignorant to something as long as the people surrounding you who are trustworthy, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I've had my hands in some of everything that I hold other people accountable to, so it's not like I'm ignorant to it, but it's important now for me to be like, dig deep and hone in and just focus on that until that's done, and then, you know what I'm saying, perhaps open other books. So right now that's the release, that's developing content, you know what I'm saying? So
I feel like that shit leads to so much progression. Like, for a long time, I wouldn't let go of any asset of my business. So I can only do so much in each category because I'm holding on to everything. And once I start letting things go and allowing T to take over things and Splash to take over things, it's like,
this Splash.
I could go further and faster now. And, you know, trusting them.
Like me, we
Yeah.
Okay, got you.
Yeah,
Okay,
but
sure.
being able to trust people in those positions so you can go and thrive in the areas that you really are stimulated from, the areas that you really, really know that you want to lock in and hone in on, being able to pass that off so they can take care of that so you can go, it's pivotal. It's going to take the whole bus further than it could go with you having your hands on everything.
For sure. And I'm surrounded by people like my team. We've all had it out to the point where each of us had to walk away from a difficult conversation with more respect for the other person. Because we both pushed so hard that in the moment we learned how passionate the other person is and how well informed their perspective is, to where we just had to find more synergy in order to solve the problem versus either person give in to the others. It's like, okay, both of us aren't wrong, so the solution is above our point of views. It's something you achieve by going at it until you know, that idea comes, it's like, oh, that's what it was, you know? And so, but that's where the trust comes from. And that's where now it's like, I could take my hands off of certain stuff. Like, we showed up to the show today. I didn't know what the set list was. And then Shanks was like, hey, so this is what I came up with. I looked at it, I was like, oh yeah, that's dope. Like, let's do that. You know what I'm saying? And that's a result of having done this 150 times, you know what I'm saying? I've had one show in the past, and it was just recently, in the past 3 years, where DJ Shanks wasn't the DJ for it. You know, 2 maybe. You know what I'm saying? And so that kind of stuff, you can't, like, that's the real blessing of this artistry, because people get lost in this stuff. You know what I'm saying? And to, like, I plan on rocking with these people, period. You know, now if roles got to shift, which they have before, then we do that. You know what I'm saying? But that's what's important to me. You know what I'm saying? Being able to trust them enough to be like, y'all got this. I'm gonna go here. You know what I'm saying? This album came together a little differently. Me and my assistant, you know what I'm saying? We was in long work sessions, and so big shout out to my assistant Drez, who I can't even really call assistant. He my chief of staff now, because he bring on other people. You know what I'm saying? He like, hey, we got a new videographer we can fuck with, or we got, you know what I'm saying, a stylist over here, and I could run point on this whole thing, you know. And plus I know how to write music in Spanish and be that other brain in there, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man, that's my little adjustment.
T, what was your 2024 impact moment?
Oh, we circling back.
Yeah.
Sheesh. Damn. I didn't even think about it. I feel like a lot has happened this year.
This was a big year. This was a big fucking year.
Damn. I think probably the biggest moment for me was like when everybody moved out, like especially Sarai. Like that was I felt like that was my home away from home. And so like, and all the other girls in the space are gone now. Like it's literally just me and like 8 niggas every day. Like it'd be taxing some days. Like I had to go and like go off and see my best friend and be like, thank God, like some girl time, you know, where it's just like, it's just different. So yeah, I think that was like the biggest change for me this year, because it also allowed me to like realize how much I can rely on myself. Like I gave a lot of my power and a lot of, like I gave a lot more credit to the people around me and didn't realize that like, damn, you can do this on your own. Like you can hold it down for yourself. You can actually like, you can figure that out without having to like lean on 8 different people's opinions. Like you can trust your own idea. You don't have to get people's opinion and then be like, yeah, you're right. Like you can think of it on your own, or, you know, you can go out by yourself, and just little things that like I think I was really afraid of initially. And so I was like clinging to you know, a life and ideas that weren't what was meant for me. And in being able to let go this year, I was able to like trust myself more and be more self-reliant.
Fire.
Yeah. Smoke got an album on the way.
Had the steel wool ready. I just needed the spark fire.
Do you have the album title? Can we hear it?
I do have the album title.
Are we allowed to say it?
I can't say
it. It ain't no album on the way.
They've been lying this whole time.
I can tell you one of the features on there.
LARUSSEL'S.
My brother
Say his name
Russell.
wrong?
Yeah.
The homie LARUSSEL'S on the.
Hey, this is a special track too, because it wasn't no big studios and all the extra shit. I really pulled up to the crib, and we was in there. The dog was barking in the background, and the homies was chilling in the living room, and it was just a special moment.
Didn't your wife
in
play
the vibe.
violin? Doesn't she play
My
violin?
wife, she sang on there. My wife is on the song.
She sang.
Yeah,
Did
so
somebody play violin? No.
She plays violin.
Okay,
But
yeah.
she did on us, because remember we did the Out in Inglewood, Living Good.
Oh, but that's your song.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we did 2 joints that day. We got a
That
little
night.
exchange, and
We plugged up.
It's coming out this year though.
The song is coming out top of next year.
The album.
The album's coming out top of next year.
Top
too.
of next year.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
At least let the people know when they can expect
It's about
it,
to
so.
happen. No, sooner than you think.
You
Sooner than
heard?
you think.
Come
you know
on,
what
we
I'm
kicking
saying?
2025 off right.
Period,
Ooh, it's gonna be
baby,
a great
LA.
year.
Ooh-wee. Another incredible episode. Shout out Smoke for coming down to the V. This your first time in Vallejo?
No.
Wow.
The homie, cause Secunda from Vallejo, right? Yeah, so the homie Secunda, when I was back in college, he brought me out here, but
Fire.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, come on.
All right,
I'm
yeah.
always in
Atlanta native.
Oakland though. I'm always in Oakland, and of course, I've been in San Fran. I've been in Berkeley, Palo Alto. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you know, if it can't be more than my second time in Vallejo though, to keep it a
heard?
buck. So
You finna tour for this next project too?
absolutely.
it.
So we looking at March for the tour.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Y'all heard it
album
here.
tour. You heard it here
on.
first. You ain't hear the album title, but you heard the info here first.
You know some
Hey,
coming.
but no, I can tell you this: the artist's name is D Smoke. That much
That's
is free.
it. Episode over.
Yeah, end it. He playing.